This is Tayo Solagbade. I'm going to take you through a mind map based explanation of what I call the BOPMS, Best Operating Process Management System. And what you see on your screen is a mind map I've created. I created it many years ago. I think it must have been around 2005 or 2006. I finally set it on a layout of the mind map. And what you see to the top left, and just in front at the top ends, and to the left are text-based descriptions of features of the BOPMS. All right, so you can read up those when because you're going to get, if you're listening to this, then the download link you got this presentation from would have also been accompanied by a copy of the PNG image format of the mind map. All right, so you would have gotten that, you can read through it. But basically, what I've said in there has to do with the fact that the BOPMS is meant to enable a farm business owner set up a system that achieves what is called right first time capability. In other words, if you think about enterprises like Mercedes, Toyota, Guinness, all the big names, all the well-established enterprises which have products that the market trusts. What people tend to believe is that when you buy, for instance, a Mercedes, you are buying quality. It doesn't matter which Mercedes you pick. The point is, when it comes off the production line, you're sure it's going to deliver the performance for which Mercedes is reputed, or whichever other brand it is you believe in. Right? The same way, if a business owner wants to establish him or herself, his or her operation in that manner, wherein you get to a point where your operatives have a system that guides them, regardless of how much experience each person has, no matter how inexperienced the person is, to be able to produce results of that nature. All right. So if you understand that, then basically what I'm saying is you will understand the need to use this mind map, because there are components, that have to be put in place in any production system to enable you to achieve such reliable output or performance, what we call repeatability and reproducibility over time. All right, so if you look at it, we have about 3 yellow boxes and 2 white boxes. Starting with the white boxes, so from the left, you have workplace organization and best practice management to entrench SOPs. SOPs mean standard operating procedures. Now, if you look at the list of items, then we have the need to conduct a best practice benchmarking of farm processes. I cannot give you full details of what all these entail in this mind map based explanation. So what I'm just doing is just highlighting the key aspects. All right. So a benchmarking process involves setting what you call target workplace targets or goals that the operatives are going to work towards. So those are what we call like upper and lower control limits, things like that determine what standards the operatives will aim for. And when they achieve that, or within that range, they know that everything's going to be so they can keep going. Those are things they check for and ensure that the system continues to produce. So if you are raising, for instance, fish, or rearing fish, catfish, you want to ensure that maybe the feeding rate, is a certain quantity of feed per bird per day. You want to, for instance, with birds, you want to get 100 to 110 grams per bird per day. All right, so things like that. You want to target for fish feed to flesh conversion ratio of 2 to 1, that kind of thing. For every 2 kilograms of feed, you get 1 kilogram of meat. Those are SOPs. Those are standards. But then, do the operatives know how to achieve that? What do they need to do? So you have to have what you call process management forms that they fill, job descriptions, work instructions to guide the operator activities. You conduct a best practice training based on those materials I just mentioned now to enable those operatives follow the SOP, the standard operating procedure you established. All right. Now, in order to do that, all of those things, you need to do what is called process performance evaluation and control. In order to do that, first thing I mentioned, right, you've got to have process performance evaluation and control. So you need to be able to record data from that process that's been managed with along the lines of the SOPs by the operatives. All right, so that's the yellow box now to the right, process performance evaluation and control. So you get KPIs, key performance indicators. Those are the things I mentioned earlier that I said you were targeting. The egg collection, the feed consumption records, movement of birth, stock movements, losses in terms of deaths, missings and things like that. So you're monitoring your stocks, your stock movements. All those are things that have data related